welcome you all here this afternoon. In reintroducing myself, my name is Richard Wexler. I'm the president and CEO of a company called The Golden Hand. And we are very happy to present Points of Life. So what is Points of Life? Well, as we go through life, we go through a lot of different stages in life stages. And one of the things that we have to understand is we need to plan for these stages actually before we get there. Because a lot of us, maybe not all, but a lot of us really enjoy our lifestyle. And we'd like to be able to retain and control that lifestyle. If we don't plan for these life stages, I can make you a promise that the lifestyle will probably be controlled by the life stage and not by you. So what we're trying to do is get people to understand the idea of planning before we get there.
Boy.
Marilyn, what's going on? You look a little stressed.
Yeah, how was your day?
I do, it's great. How was yours?
Not so good. I don't think yours is going to be good either. We had a phone call from the doctor saying that your mom is coming home from the hospital, but she's not actually going home, and she's being discharged in 2 days. And we have to find
2 days?
Yeah.
And what do you mean she's not going home?
She can't go home. He said she can't take care of herself, and we're going to have to figure out a way to either get someone in to take care of her, or put her in a place where someone can take really good care of her. And I don't know how in the world are we going to do this in less than 48 hours. My hair is on fire. I feel just like my hair is on fire. I don't know what to do about it.
Wait a minute. We have 48 hours to figure out where she's living and who's going to take care of her. How in the world are we going to afford that? What's that cost? Like $500 a month?
I have no idea what it's going to cost, but I'm thinking, okay, we know she owns a house, although she's never really told us what it's worth, and maybe there's something we can tap into there. She's got Medicare. Wasn't she in the military during the war? Maybe there's something there. I don't know. And then
this is nuts.
And there, you know what? There goes our vacation. There goes the bathroom remodel, and who knows? Maybe even the Scott's tuition for the first semester. I'm just a wreck. And your deadbeat brother isn't going to be any help with this at all. You know, he's just going to be totally worthless.
Okay.
And my hair is on fire, and it's going to burn for the next 48 hours. I just don't know what to do.
Do me a favor, leave my brother out of this. You know, I'm thinking about this. You know Jeff, the guy that sits next to me at work.
Yeah.
I think he just went through this with his dad like 2 months ago. And if I remember, he told me he worked with a team of professionals that helped him through the whole process. I'll give him a call. I'll find out what's going on. We got, 48 hours and no money to do this?
Yeah, probably actually less than 48 hours by the time we get this all together. But you know what? This dear husband brings up a point, and that is that we haven't got a plan either. This is really scary to think. We kind of knew this might happen with your mom, but we did nothing about it. And this could happen to us too. And we have nothing. Do you think maybe we ought to get a plan together too? Maybe we can get a 2-for-1 on this. Something. What do you think?
That'd be nice. Okay, I'll call Jeff. We'll move forward. We'll figure it out.
Okay, one more thing.
What's that?
Who's going to call your deadbeat brother?
Thank you. What is important to do in estate plan?
Basically, estate plans help you understand what you have in assets and where you would like your assets to go when you're not here anymore. And to plan ahead helps to avoid what we call an intestate succession of your assets, which means you had no will or trust. Or if you only have a will, then your family will have to go to court to what we call probate that will. If you have a trust, you can avoid having to go to court, and your assets and all of your personal matters will remain private.
That sounds interesting.
Hello?
Marilyn, Richard, how you doing?
Oh, hi, brother. How are you?
I'm doing great. I got about 5 minutes. Business is going great. Got to catch a plane. Got to go to Denver. Just want to call, see how Dad's doing. Really quick, how's he doing?
Well, I'm really glad you called, because actually he's not doing all that well at the moment.
What do you mean? I talked to him yesterday. He said everything. He said everything was fine. What do you mean he's not doing
Well,
well?
I know he says everything's fine. And the whole reason that he came to live with me was because I really believed that he could not live alone, and now I know he can't.
What are you talking about? He tells me he's fine. He could actually go back home. Everything's cool.
Things are very cool. And the reason for that is that he's really showing signs of some memory issues, and
What?
he's getting difficult to handle. And I don't know how to tell this to you because our sweet, adorable, kind, and very shy dad. He was out in the front yard yesterday morning talking to my next door neighbor while she was watering her lawn.
Yeah.
And he was naked.
What? Our conservative father was outside naked?
Yes, he was
Oh,
there
come on,
naked.
come on.
Yes, I
That's
know,
not
it's hard
true.
to believe. No, I said, Daddy, what are you doing? And of course, my neighbor's such a snob, so this was really embarrassing. I mean, this was really
Marilyn, give me a
embarrassing.
break. Our dad was not outside
Yes, he
naked.
would. Richard.
Marilyn, I gotta go. The cab's out front. I gotta go to the airport. Gotta catch my plane. Send him home. He'll be fine.
Yeah, you know what? I gotta go too. You know why? Because the front door is open and Dad just ran out naked.
Thank you. A term that I've heard, a term people have talked about, a term that I don't really understand from a health perspective, and that's osteoporosis. What does that mean?
Well, osteoporosis means porous bones. And really, it's more than a diagnosis. It's better than a diagnosis in that it actually predicts things. It's a statistical prediction of whether or not you're going to break a bone because of the bone density you have.
When should people be thinking about this, and what should people be doing in certain life stages before we can get to that point?
Well, when should you be thinking about it? Actually, now. In the next 30 years, the incidence of osteoporosis is going to anywhere from double to triple. And what it's really about, it's about your hip. And it's about not breaking it. Because if you break your hip, you have a 1 in 4 chance of not being around 12 months from now. Everybody knows who Mike Tyson is. And back when he was in his prime, and he was knocking everybody out, he had a press conference, and apparently his next opponent was undefeated, and he knew how to fight his fight, and he said to the press that he actually had a plan, and they wanted Mike Tyson's comment on it. And Mike Tyson just smiled and said, everybody has a plan till they get hit. So I always think about this, because those of you who have a senior in the family, your senior loved one, yesterday may not have had a broken hip, but today they might. And now, as a result, that person has a 75% chance of not fully recovering. 75% chance. And 6 months later, that individual will have an 85% chance of not being able to get from one side of the room to the other without help.
That's excellent. I wouldn't have thought of Mike Tyson as our country's philosopher, but that's great advice because it's extremely true.